Welcome back. The National Social Securities Fund is this morning to hold its 4th annual general meeting. The meeting is being held at the KICC here in Nairobi. Let's listen in.
The program and will start receiving their monthly stipend from January 2018. Government also supports agriculture in subsidizing fertilizer and seeds. We also know of the free maternity, also the revamping of the hospitals so that Kenyans can get quality health care just using the NHI card. Also in the education sector, we have the free primary and the free secondary education. We also know that the government has provided computers for Standard 1 children so that they can prepare themselves to the future, which is use of technology. Now, the National Social Security Fund is an initiative of the government. This is a public mandatory scheme for all workers in the formal sector. Many of us here in the formal sector are members of NSSF. However, this is not the case for 83% of our working population from the informal sector who lives and work without saving for their social protection. Ladies and gentlemen, 46.9% of our people live below the poverty line and 19% in hardcore poverty, with 83% of Kenya workers not saving for their retirement. We are facing a potential crisis in caring for our aged population. Poor saving culture, rising life expectancy, and a fixed retirement age implies that those of us saving are inevitably going to need more pensions for a longer period. Tackling this challenge has become harder given the increasing level of unemployment, outsourcing, and casualization. The government has put in place measures to promote the culture of saving and to ensure that social protection coverage is extended to all workers regardless of where they work. The National Social Security Fund was established with the purpose of ensuring workers save for their social protection. Through this fund and other programs, including the various cash transfers that I've talked about previously, the government remains firmly focused on fulfilling its constitutional mandate on providing social protection and the progressive building of a shared future as envisioned in the Vision 2030, Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2030, and the ILO's Social Protection Flow Recommendations 202 of 2012, among others. Members of the fund, a well-run social fund is witnessed by the nature and quality of benefits provided to its members and how the citizenry benefits. For this to happen, good governance and legal certainty of such a fund is central. Aware of this, the government, through the National Assembly, enacted the National Social Security Act number 45 of 2013. The Act, which commenced on 10th January 2014, covers an improving accountability, transparency, protecting the rights of beneficiary, and governance of NSSF as the order of business. Section 63 of this Act provides for the board to hold an annual general meeting for the members of the fund in accordance with the provisions of the Retirement Benefit Act. Therefore, I am happy to note that by holding this AGM, the NSSF Act number 45 is in force, and we have a representative from the Retirement Benefits Authority at this meeting. Good governance is an important aspect of an effective and efficient social security fund. It enhances investments performance, benefits security, and delivery of service. This fourth AGM provides you with an opportunity to evaluate the performance of NSSF during the year under review and enables you to raise any matters pertaining to the fund. I am glad to note from the chairperson's remark that the trustees of this fund have not forgotten that they are a fiduciary and that they are acting on behalf of the members of the fund, former members and their beneficiaries. I must add and emphasize that government, as a guarantor of this fund, is committed and focused on ensuring that the fund delivers key benefits to its members. My ministry will do everything possible to ensure that members' benefits are safe, secure, and invested prudently to offer old age security. We further expect the trustees of this fund to carry out objectives of the fund with diligence and the highest level of integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, the asset value of Kenya's pension industry stands at about Kenya shillings 963 billion, with Kenya shillings 197 billion belonging to NSSF. As at 30th June 2016, its NSSF asset value was reported to be 172 billion Kenya shillings. During the 2016-2017 financial year, the fund grew to 197 billion Kenya shillings. That is at 30th June 2017. The 14.5% growth of NSSF was achieved despite the tough economic times. The growth was largely attributed to the performance of the fund's investments in the market. I hope that during this financial year, prospects for the fund's asset will be brighter. My ministry, in consultation with other state organs, is involved in identifying means on how pension funds of this country, including NSSF, can be facilitated so that they can further diversify members' investments and make long-term investments in infrastructure. As you are aware, last year the government issued a legal notice allowing NSSF to put a portion of its assets in financial institutions for onward lending to its members, including affordable housing scheme. The Board of Trustees and management of NSSF will exploit this opportunity to add new members to the fund through development.
So there is Labour Principal Secretary Khadija Kasachun speaking at the National Social Security Fund Annual General Meeting at the KICC here in Nairobi. We'll be giving you more details on the milestones that have been achieved by the National Social Security Fund in the course of our subsequent bulletins. Now, away from that, 40 applicants have submitted their forms to join the East Africa Legislative Assembly. Interested candidates had until last night to submit their papers. The applicants include 6 former members of parliament, but a contest over the number of members that Jubilee and NASA should have or should nominate to the Regional Assembly could stall the process once again. Jubilee is pushing for 6 members, while NASA insists they should have 4 members. Kenya is only entitled to 9 members in the East African Legislative Assembly. Well, let's discuss this in a bit more detail with Honorable Samson Cherargei and Honorable Tom Odege here in studio. And it is one of the sittings within the region that have been suspended for the better part of a year, again because of the political situations in both Kenya and South Sudan. South Sudan's issue is being dealt with, but of course Kenya's political